Hey, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper, and I have a journal, of course, to show you. This one I made from what's called a table tapestry, and it's antique, and it is really very sweet, very pretty. I put that on the cover of a vintage book, and I added this removable bangle, which I've put some vintage jewelry bits in it, some newer jewelry bits, and some ribbon to match the tapestry, and this beautiful set of three very long pheasant feathers. And I just think it's so pretty. And there's the original spine at the side. And let's take a look at this sweetie inside. Now this will be going on Etsy momentarily. So if you want to get over to Etsy, you can go to hyperstamper.etsy.com. Now this I did not tape in here, but the original owner of the book would have. That is a picture of the author. And this was inscripted February 1937. Yeah. So I left that in there. I think it's really special and important. So this was an Indigenous author, and a really, really important book. Yeah, 1931 it was printed. So let's have a little, 1937. This is just a blank journaling page from the 20s and 1920s, of course. Here is just a very pretty plate that I pulled out of an antique art book. More feathers here. Actually, I meant to glue these up here. So that'll be glued right there. Or another page, we'll see. And these are feathers, actually, two peasant feathers, and this is, I forget the name of the bird, but we found that feather in our backyard. Okay, this is a really fun 1950s magazine page with some artwork on it as well. So this one, a lot of art things in this journal. Some vintage stamps inside of a vintage stamp collector's envelope. There we go, and just another journaling tea-dyed page there. Everything else besides the tea-dyed pages are authentic, antique, and vintage ephemera. I don't use any kits or scrapbook paper or anything. It's all authentic. So this is a stereoscope here from the 1800s, and the history of what it's about is here. And that would have been like the original Viewmaster, where you see them both and they kind of look 3D. Yeah, this is from a theater magazine from the 50s. Sorry, I keep knocking the camera because this is kind of a bigger, larger size book. This is from the 1905 How to Make a Garden book. And there's that theater arts magazine again there. It's a wonderful set of images. And then I just taped this in here for journaling on from the 20s. There's a Monopoly card from the 30s, a set I got from the 30s, and that's a 1950s receipt. Children's book page, and I really like this one. I love the nighttime children's book images. I just think they're stunning. There's a ledger page from the 30s, I believe. And this one here is quite special. This is from August 1890. Can you see that there? And that is just like a business note. That's a 1890s text is what that is. And then I did a journaling tag here out of antique paper as well. And that's all mounted on top of a vintage map. And this very pretty postcard here. Look at the stunning colors. I almost made this into the cover of a journal. But I think I have a few that are similar. And that one is from the early 1900s. And then just another blank antique book page there with just a title page or title on the page, and that's from extra journaling. Slip that back in. More antique paper here and here. This is a page from the book, and we have to have our fun cheesy vintage recipe photo from a book, and that one is for banana bread. Actually, I make banana bread all the time. I wonder what that recipe would have been like. Mine looks better than that. Tell you right now, well, depending on the day. Okay, let's see here. Just lots of pages here for journaling on. You can do artwork on here if you do mixed media work. Another page here, and that's mounted on top of the Magic Garden, that receipt. And the beautiful illustrations here. And this is actually from a Christmas book called Christmas Carol. And I liked it because this particular page wasn't really Christmassy themed, but it's that beautiful cardstock with the gold edging on the top and bottom. And this is a page from the 1920s, a music sheet. And we're getting to the end, a vintage bird book page. And this is actually a book from the 1940s. And just the other side of that music page here, another one of those nice Christmas Carol cardstock books. And I put in these two little vintage cards. You recognize that from the 70s, and that one is from the 50s. Look at those little kittens. And that's one of those teeny tiny cards. You can have fun making something with that. And just a little journaling envelope. And all of this is made out of a pocket from an antique book mounted on top of a old yearbook, school yearbook. This is a fun advertisement from a cookbook for Blue Ribbon Tea. That's from the 50s. And then this is the Emerald Isle, a beautiful Irish poem from the very early 1900s, pre-1910. There we go. And 1940s dictionary page, another ledger sheet. This came from the 1902 Currier and Ives plate book. So that is a plate view of New York. And that's really, really lovely plate there. I try to use as many of these plates as I can. And then on the flip side are two more plates. And then one more here. It is very rare where you can get four of them going in the right direction. So that's really wonderful to get those plates in there. I found that this little coupon in that cookbook I was telling you about with the Blue Ribbon Tea. And there's early 1950s basketball team. And there they are again, the junior team. Just some ribbon there. And yeah. And that is the book. So I'm putting that on Etsy now. And I hope you'll take a look. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.